So today I'm going to show you a very strong opening for white that begins with the move d4, and here your opponent goes for d5. Then after e4 he takes, you go for knight c3, and now after knight f6 we are not going to play the black Mortimer gambit with this. Instead we are going to play bishop to g5, hitting the knight, and here the idea behind this move is that we want to take the knight to regain our pawn. So black have these responses: e6, bishop f5, knight c6. Knight c6 is not that great because you can push the pawn, and now this knight is going to move away like this. And now the knight is attacked again and we are going to win the pawn very easily. And e6 is also not that good because of knight takes e4, putting pressure on the knight. So he got to play bishop f5, which is also the most common move. Now you go for queen to e2, putting pressure on this pawn. And it seems like we got a take, and after he takes, we will take. And this pawn is also hanging. Now here he can play something like e6 to develop the bishop, or he can take this pawn. If he captures this free pawn, then you give this check, hitting the king, this pawn, and the bishop. And after something like bishop d7, he will take this pawn, threatening the rook. Bishop c6 hits the queen, but then bishop e5 is a pin to the bishop. If queen d7, then you can take, and after he takes, queen c8 is checkmate. And if queen b6, then it is a direct checkmate. So you can play bishop takes b5, but then you take with the knight attacking the queen, and after queen d5, you have queen to c8 check, queen d8, then knight takes c7 is a checkmate. But what if he doesn't capture this pawn and play e6? Then you can long castle here, bishop e7, prepares to castle. Now here you can go for two lines, you can take this pawn or you can also go for a gambit line f3. Let's look at them one by one. First, if you take and after he takes, you can simply regain the pawn, and this is quite less complicated here. He is going to castle here and we are going to have an opposite side castling. Now let me show you the gambit line. We are going to play f3, then after he takes, you take with the knight. He castle here, then knight e5, prepares g4, h4 push, knight b7, trying to trade the knights, but we are going to push this pawn anyway, attacking the bishop. Now if he takes this knight, then you will take, and now it's a discard attack on the rook and this knight is hanging at the same time. So bishop g6, but then you can push this pawn, threatening this. h6 hits the bishop, but then you will take his bishop, and after he takes, you have this check. King h7 or king h8 doesn't matter much. We are going to play bishop d3, threatening this. So if he captures the free bishop, then he will take, and after he goes here, rook takes h5 is checkmate. So let's see plays rook e8, trying to throw some discard attack on the queen. But then you will play h5, and after he goes here, you can just take this pawn with check. He goes back, then queen f7, threatening this. Knight g8 defends, but we are going to sacrifice the rook anyway, and then d7 is checkmate. So if this video was helpful, then don't forget to like this video, and don't forget to subscribe so you don't miss the upcoming videos.